Hi everyone! So I thought I'd do a tag for you before I go to work. Sorry, I'm kind of dark. There's not a whole lot of lighting out here as it's like 3 in the morning or so. So, I am here to do the disclaimer book tag, which was created by Michael from Catalyst Read. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good angle here. He has a fantastic channel and you should check it out. He makes like really cool tags and stuff. And like I said, this one is called the disclaimer book tag. So, here we go. Which trope annoys you the most? So, I don't know if a trope per se like annoys me. I think it's how we use them. Because there are things that you can consider tropes or cliches or whatever else or overused in books, but sometimes I kind of like them. If it all depends on how the author uses them. Sometimes there are reasons things happen, like love triangles. You can do that good if you can write that well. The problem I had was something like Twilight is that, yeah, okay, Jacob was supposed to be an old friend of hers, or whatever, but it wasn't like they seen each other all the time. And then Edward comes, and why did she really like Edward? I can't remember an actual good reason, other than he was mysterious or something. But it's gotta be beyond, I go back to my town, I meet up with this old friend, but he's not good enough right now. But I meet this one guy, he's good looking, but he kind of acts like a jerk to me. But I like him. But then I might like this friend that I'm not going to give any chance to. It's like, okay. But, you could write a story like, I don't know, where a person's thinking about an old friend that they've been friends with for years. And then maybe this new person comes and they have a lot of interest together. Maybe something happens. I mean, you can write tropes in a good way. It really depends on how you use them. It depends on your writing style. Like, I think a lot of them are overused. Obviously, the chosen person, this and that. Like, for the giver, it worked. The chosen person. Like, they were all assigned jobs and everything based on their actions and their personalities, and obviously they didn't think things were going to go the way they were, and that's kind of, the basis of the story, or like a subplot kind of thing. So it can work. It just depends on how you do it. What writers do you think are overhyped or overrated? I haven't read enough of one author to say if they're overhyped or overrated. Maybe I'd go with Stephanie Meyer because I think Twilight got more recognition than it deserved. And I only read one book, so I'm not going to bash the entire series, but still, I didn't think it was worthy of all the popularity that it got. What is your least favorite book since joining BookTube? So I haven't read a whole lot of books that I found through BookTube. Like, I read Zombies vs. Unicorns, which I got into, like, way before I joined BookTube, like 4 or 5 years ago. I read Cinder. I read The Fault in Our Stars. I read, A Monster Call. So, I mean, I guess I read a few, but one that kind of probably sticks out, and I wouldn't say that I hated it. I don't know, I was kind of confused by it. I thought the setting wasn't right and such. Would probably be We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I just felt the writing style and the language just did not fit. I don't know, it just didn't seem like a modern teenager. And, you know, oh, okay, I guess if you want to say this is a trope, I hate that if a person has a certain amount of wealth, or they're born to a certain class or race or religion or whatever, they have this whole you can't understand or you're completely ignorant to everything. And what I mean is, whenever you have books about wealthy people, it's always they have no idea about the world around them. They don't know the names of the people that work for them, and the people that always work for them are usually always immigrants, not all the time, but usually. And they have no idea about anything that goes on. I mean, they never talk to these people. They're never friends with these people. They only know their money, and it's like, I'm pretty sure not everyone is like that, just like not every poor person is the same. And that's the kind of vibe that the book gave, and it's like, okay. I mean, I'm thinking about rereading it eventually, so maybe I'll get something out of it the next time. What was a terrible ending to an otherwise good book? You know what? I don't know. I don't think there has been an ending that I didn't quite like. I know a lot of people mentioned Mockingjay, and I liked the book. The ending was okay. I mean, I'm glad the characters got out of all the crap they got out of, but I thought it could have been, like, done better. Like, the whole... I mean, there was a whole rebellion thing going on, and just, like... I know these whole epic fights and everything are usually, like, fantasy kind of things and stuff, but the way it was, they could have had a better, like, big, epic battle kind of thing. Like, a little bit more action and everything for that kind of book. Also, just like I've said before, the fact that we got very little background, I would have really liked to know more about everything and just had everything complete. So I didn't hate Mockingjay, but it could have been better. Fictional characters you wish were not killed off. Okay. I would say Rue from the Hunger Games. I could name other people too, but, you know, the whole spoiler thing. I mean, the thing about Rue is that the plot of the book deals with kids killing for survival and, or for a game, surviving this game and everything. So you kind of expect people, then the main character, to die. But that whole friendship, as short as it was in that book and the way she wrote it, and after that character died, it was just absolutely heartbreaking. And I hate to say it, but it was kind of sadder than another death that people talk about in the series, but I think that's because that death was just so... It was just so quick, and there was not a whole lot of emotion set into it. It just happened so quickly. But that one was sad too. You know, pretty much the deaths in Mockingjay and the death of a tribute in Catching Fire, which was the mentor to one of the characters that died in Mockingjay. So, if you've read the books, you'll obviously know what I'm talking about. Bookish pet peeves. You know what? I don't really know if I have bookish pet peeves. I know Michael mentioned names and stuff, which I can kind of agree with. Like, I get it if it's like a foreign book. Like, I read Battle Royale and I had hard times with names because it's set in Japan. So they have, you know, Japanese names and names that we really don't have here, and, you know, you don't know how to pronounce all the time. Same thing with Sailor Moon if you go back to some of the original translations. But you know, there are books in English where people have stranger names and everything, and if you're gonna have a name that's like oddly pronounced, like Hermione, just put like, you know, notes in there, like a pronunciation guide. Books that need more recognition. Oh my god, what's with me in this word today? Blah. So, I don't know. It seems like a lot of the books that I read are already semi-popular. Um, I would say read Unwind. I have to finish that series. I only read the first book, but it is a really good book. I like that one. It deals with a dystopia involving abortion and pro-life and this and that.